Yes, indeed.
Peace, 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 peace. What up,
Man.
Reed?
Hey, what's happening, Sean? It is Friday once again. Man, these weeks are going by fast. I don't know about you, but it's Friday.
Yeah, because today's the 21st, right?
Uh huh. It sure is.
So that means it's the second day in what?
Second day of what?
Taurus
Oh,
season.
gotcha.
And it also means it's 4 days before my solar return, where I am turning the big four too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the first to do it, I am very big on celebrating birthdays more than any other holiday because that's about you. That's your day. And we get so wrapped up in celebrating others and other things and we forget about celebrating ourselves. So, you
Right.
know, I'm the first to make it past 30, to make it to 40, the women before me. So, life is good. In spite of losses, life is still good. So that's what keeps me pressing forward. And, I love it when my birthday falls in the middle of the week because I get to celebrate 2 weekends in a row.
Gotcha. That's what's up.
Yes, yes, yes. And the weather finally is nice in North Carolina. The 86 and 88 degrees is popping like down there in Florida. I got tired of rubbing it in.
Well, I never try to compare with you Northerners because you already know y'all gonna be looking at me all stank, and it ain't my fault. I don't control the thermostat down here, so I'm just saying.
Yes. So tonight's show, is a pre-birthday celebration show, and what best way to do it than to have the best of both worlds? Where we get our spiritual, maybe uprising, uplifting poetry along with some sensual, sultry, maybe butt naked, nasty, real extra wet type bars tonight,
Hmm.
because this is the type of poetry that I love. And I like to support my people. And, I know a lot of dope people. I'm getting to know more who are very versed in the linguistics of the trade, I like to say. Um, this first brother I would like to introduce because I know this brother. And the thing about it, when we met, we just knew we was cool and didn't even know we was both from Jersey. So this
Jersey,
is,
stand up.
you already know.
Yes,
This
indeed.
brother goes by Crosswords. You would show his pics for the crew.
You got it. Got my man. Oh,
Crosswords is a dope brother. I met him through, how networking, and this person, and this person, and we just happen to be linked with the right people. And the first time I ever heard this brother spit, I was in awe. I was definitely in awe, and it also was like, yes, the home team. Like I like to say, no matter where I go, Jersey is the only air I breathe. So, that just means that you're going to know where I'm from everywhere I go. And I love the fact that he was able to spot that. Now, the queen that we also have, and I just love it because she's going to be in her very most authentic self possible. This is Cherie Purpose Hall. Now, this sister, yes, see, she's beautiful. This is
indeed.
I was drawn to her, thanks to social media. I'm involved in a lot of poetry groups, and she did this post, and we was talking about it backstage. Which the first one I saw was about the grits, making light, and people just come out of pocket for the wrong reasons. But I
Right.
saw her post again, and I said, let me go be nosy. So I go to her page, and this post she did was a situation going on from that same one, and she basically checked somebody. But I loved her hashtag. I'm not just a poet. She had to lay the law down, let them know I live and breathe this, because sis is also running for council.
Oh,
You
that's what's
feel
up.
me?
That's what's up.
And she's from out of Kansas City, Missouri. So, we got some definite flavor on for the show tonight. So, without further ado, how about let's bring. I'll let you pick since it's the best of both worlds. Do you plan on spitting tonight? Because I know I didn't ask you that backstage.
You know, because I'm not at home, all my stuff is there. So I am I'm
You see how
weaponless.
you do?
No, no, no. But I will tell you, I did finish the second poem though.
Okay.
But I just didn't. It's not inbred in here.
Okay. No, I got you. I
So
got you.
next week I'll make it official. We'll do it next
Okay,
week.
so you choose who we gonna start with first. We gonna bust them in the head and just do well, or how about we just interview them both and then let them go back and
Yeah,
forth after we do the blast music artist of the week? Because I think that'll
fair
be
enough.
good. So,
Now I'm gonna bring the both out and I'll let y'all mix it up and I'll be back for the blast artist. Fair enough.
okay, yeah, that'll work. We're gonna do it like that.
All right.
All right, peace, peace, peace. So as wheat fades to the background. How are you guys doing? Again, even though we chopped it up real quick backstage, how
It's
are you?
Friday.
I'm
Friday is
good.
good.
Okay, now, some folks like to tell their ages, some don't, but like I've already shared, my birthday is the 25th, which is next Tuesday. I'm going to be the big 4-2. So,
Oh wow.
crosswords, you're going to give up your math.
Oh yeah, I'm 55 all day. I don't have no problem with that. No
Yes,
problem with that.
that's right. We
I'm
grown around
Generation
here.
X. Yeah, there's grown folks around here. So, I represent Generation X, all that. You know what I mean? My book just came out last year, 50 Things I Learned at 50. So we live
That's right.
that.
That's right. And sis, how about you?
4, 3.
All right, look at here. We all grown. Okay. So, all right. I want to dive into it because I like to give people the opportunity to shine, but also to give a little background on how poetry has been important in their lives. So I do know a little bit of background, but just to make sure our viewers get a chance to understand who you are, where your roots come from. Um, and I'm gonna throw it out there. Whoever wants to chime in first, by all means, do so. So, how
Ladies
has
first.
poetry been important in your life, or when did it start becoming important in your life?
Poetry for me is catharsis. I wrote my first poem in response to my grandfather dying, and I was 6. And every time there has been a change, a coming of age, an important death, there has been poetry to be able to bridge that gap and get to the next thing. Poetry has always given me new life,
Yes.
as well as helped me heal. I wouldn't be sitting here doing what I'm doing right now, honestly, without the art. I wouldn't be the activist I am. I wouldn't be in the streets because art is activism. You can get away with murder uh, in a piece of art. You can't just
That's
say
right.
certain things, just and people accept them. But you do it in art. It's like, well,
Yeah. Yes. I definitely understand that. Crosswords, want to add
Yeah,
on?
it didn't start off that way for me, like as a poet. I started. I was a 12-year-old boy, so 12-year-old boys write poems to 12-year-old girls. So that's
Mm. Okay,
you know what I
you was a
mean. I
immaculate
mean,
early.
I was trying. I wouldn't always work, but but that was where it started for me, and somewhere around the 10th grade, I had a English teacher named Miss Gist, and she took a liking to my writing, and introduced me to Langston Hughes. From there, I was off to the races. Like, I was on, and then I began writing. But the funny thing is, I didn't start performing until years later. But
You've been rocking out for like 20 years.
Yeah, 20 plus, yeah, a little bit, So, that love didn't happen until later in life. It didn't happen when I was, 16, 17 years old. A whole lot of other things going on, but when I was actually able to find it, I was able to find my purpose.
Indeed. So, Cherie, was the love for you automatic? I know you said it was around every level, and I want you to know also that's like a mirroring effect, because I have that same thing. I was around 10 years old. I was challenged in third grade about writing about somebody that was real influential in your life. I won third in the state of New Jersey, and I was up against high school and junior high school, and I was the only female representing. So it was a dope experience, bro. That was back when Jim Florio was in office. So we going back to 90, 91. So, but like that, I was already writing little poems here and there. So my teacher pushed me to write about that. And I wrote about my nana who took care of me after my mom transitioned at 28. And so, that's where it started for me as well, helping me deal with life, current events. My father recently transitioned. So yeah, I have a piece about that too. We share the same born day. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to share that tonight or if I'm going to wait until the actual day. So if I share it tonight, maybe we'll see how it goes. But with that, poetry seems to be like also a stepping stone for other projects. So has poetry been like a gateway to other avenues for you where you thought that you wouldn't be sharing your art?
Poetry is a gateway drug, but it's the drug that I stick with, right? So to answer the previous question, it was Sparks, but it was always Sparks differently. So much like crosswords, I didn't start really performing. Like I was in theater and different things like that, but actually performing poetry, I started like doing open mics in like 2004, and I couldn't memorize. I would just get up there, and I'm an introvert, honestly, by nature, with anxiety. So I'm up here like with this paper. And then, like I said, poetry being catharsis for me. The father of my 2 girls was murdered while I was 6 months pregnant with the second. And a year later, a lot of things had changed. I rededicated my life. And I had this flyer to go to a poetry show. But it was the anniversary of his death. So I was either going to go to this poetry show and honor that, where I was writing poems, or I was going to go sit at this gravesite with a gallon of light and a gallon of dark, because you got to keep the spirits even. And I was going to sit there and smoke and honor the father of my children. And I chose the poetry show. And I got on stage, and performing was Sparks. And my mentor, who was now my mentor, pulled me in and held on to me. And he gave me my first job, my first gig. He gave me my first time traveling out of town. And if I had not learned what I call now the family business from that perspective, I wouldn't sit here currently running a company where we do mental health and poetry, or mental health and arts together. I just wouldn't be helping other people in that capacity. I wouldn't be publishing now. I wouldn't have books. Like when I say catharsis and starting a whole new life, it's a whole new, honey, I went to school pre-law and was studying psychology and studying the hood. So this is how I get back to politics, because I really did study the hood. I'm over here. I was working at Sprint Ericsson, doing network engineering and stuff like that. So just total flip.
Indeed. How do you feel with that flip?
I'm good with it because also poets, if you find a lot of artists have multiple arts, right? So when the words don't come out for me, they come out in paint. I'm a multimedia artist as well. I do things with my hands. I do some light graphic design, like visually, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the words don't come out in a pen. And I believe that is true for most artists that, you know, even if you do hair and you're a poet, or you might be a fashion designer, and it like a lot of things, it either comes out visually or in words. And for some reason, we have that gift as poets. Everybody can't always revert to the words, but the words often inspire the other stuff.
That's right. Crosswords, you want to add on?
Yeah, you know, when I first started doing poetry, you know, back in 2001, something like that, long time. I thought we were gonna change the world through spoken word. That was my thought. I thought
one poem at a time.
One poem at a time. I was like, you know, I thought we would, you know, we were gonna be as big as hip hop, and you know, because when I started, like I knew and still know so many talented people. You know, so many talented people, and that you know, spreading that word was such a beautiful thing. I was just like, okay, let's do this. Let's take on this world, like you said, one poem at a time. And you know, I just kind of kept at it, and from that, you know, I was able to build my brand into, you know, a clothing line, and you know, because I began to identify myself as more than just a poet. I'm a writer. You know what I mean? I'm a writer. You know what I'm saying? And when I began to look at it like that, I began to expand a little bit, you know, and I was able to write a couple of books and a couple of screenplays, and, you know, just write on other things other than, you know, a 3-minute poem. And I began to understand it like you know, Sherry said, yes, we have different mediums. We're art people, and we have different mediums, and that's how we shine. I remember when I was young, my mom told me that in order to find your purpose, find something that you would do for free. Do that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like that was that, and that's been carrying me. That's been carrying me since
You went out.
Oh, he might have frozen.
There
you go.
Okay, now you back in. Nope, now you
good.
Back
okay,
in.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, it's technology. We do not control that. So, when did you know? Wait, before I answer that, so you brought up a good point, because that was going to be a later question. You said that you now use the poetry with the mental health.
Yeah.
And I think that is so dope, because I literally last year had an event, and it was called the Little Mo Healing. I was growing through some things myself personally. And it just so happened, you know, when you recognize your cipher, your circle, your tribe is all experiencing things, you know, in their own way. I was like, okay, in being selfish, but still being selfless at the same time. So I played off of my real name and called it a Little Mo Healing. It was like basically a workshop where we, you know, went through therapeutic, you know, healing through creative writing. Everybody got their own journals, and we had writing prompts. We had speakers in between to help us deal with each emotion, you know, and it was really healing. And those that I asked to come and partake to help promote the healing, they walked away with saying, you know, we thought we was coming in here to do this for the people, and we walked away with healing, but that was the purpose. You know, that was the method behind it all, because I wanted everybody to walk away with that, because I know what kind of keep me from going over the deep end has always been that pen. You know, I lost my daughter young. She was killed by a hit and run driver. So the journaling daily, the timestamps, like I still have it. Sometimes I just need to go back and, you know, when you get down and some things people can't say, it's easy when you could just flip the pages and see your growth.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes people don't get you, but you get yourself. You read a line and be like, damn, I said that. damn, I used to think like that.
That
Like,
still happens to me
wow.
today.
Yeah.
Still
See,
happens to me
you know what
today.
I'm saying? And it's a
Yeah.
beautiful because again, that just proves what, and no matter what anyone, because I don't like to discredit what anybody believes in, but every pathway talks about digging deep. We are born with everything that we need. It's just that we have to find our ways to unlock it and tap in. And that one way is definitely with the pen. You don't even have to be a writer.
Right.
It's just writing whatever is in you down. And when you see it, it helps you go through the process. And that's dope that you're doing that. And what is the reception of the community with that? Do you get a good response?
Yeah. So this organization, the one I'm CEO of Poetry for Personal Power, I stepped in after the founder, Karina West. She stepped down in 2019. And we offer peer support one-on-one and in groups. But the Sponsored Artist Program, there are people, especially who look like us, who will never step into a mental health facility. We don't trust clinicians. We don't gig with all that. And rightfully so. It's understood that we done been experimented on. We done went through some things with this medical system. So, there's a lot of us who don't even know that. We just know daddy didn't, mama didn't, such and and now we have clinicians who look like us, who believe in recovery, who are from where we're from. So we do that work of non-clinical and also connection, but our sponsored artists, again, like people would never step into a mental health facility. They're coming out into the bar, into the park, wherever the event is, and they're going to tell their resiliency story. They're going to talk about what helped them overcome adversity, and then they're going to spit their original work, or they're going to dance, or they're going to, like, we work with artists, period. And after that, there will be resources and there will be evaluations to see how does this art affect your mental health and your connection to community. So that is where we get our data. We have the data points, and then I'm able to get, grants and different things like that for the program. But that is how that works. And going to Crossword's point from before, this is why we also honor all arts, because just like I'm a writer. So one of the people I admire, like all the poets, is Nikki Giovanni, right? Ooh. But I admire her. I don't know if you've ever read her book of essays. Listen, honey, listen. If you ain't read a Nikki essay outside a poem, you ain't read yet. And it's what inspired me, even for my book, Black Girl Shattered, to make, all right, I'm doing poetry, epistles, and essays.
I hear that.
And
I know that's right.
I'm writing a grant. I might be writing a scientific journal. I might be doing a blog. I might be doing, but we're writers. We are given to the art of communication and expression. So when you invite a poet in to come teach at your school, they're teaching communications. Half these kids may not grow up to be poets, but they still gonna have to talk that talk. So we come in and we help teach that. Even with erotic poetry, it's communication.
That's right.
It ain't sexy if you ain't talking. You know what I'm saying? And however that talk happened, you know what I'm saying? It may not happen with word, but it's still communication.
Now, Crosswords.
I teach my kids.
I was just about to say, you're at A&T, right?
Yeah. We have at our Aguilar Poetry Society, like that's one of the things I teach them. Like, don't be afraid of your story. Don't be afraid to tell people who you are, like, because your story is your story. So you own those words. Like, it's very if they repeat back what I tell them all the time, I tell them, own your words. And it's very important because, like, there's only two ways your story can be told. You tell it and somebody else tells it. You don't want nobody else telling your story because it's not going to be accurate.
I know that's right.
So you always make sure that you own your words. So yeah, being here has given me not only do they keep me going, like they keep me going. I give them something to go with, but they keep me going a lot. Like, their ideas, what they see in the world, how they move, and how they react, and how they communicate. Is so much different than how we communicated when we were coming up. They're a lot different. They're a lot more expressive with their words, and they're not afraid to tell you exactly how they feel. So I love that.
What other things that say, had you not been in that position, has there anything, working with the kids, changed your view on them?
Nah, I mean, I've been doing workshops like, ever since I left Jersey, I would always do workshops with the school system, especially when I moved down here. I did a lot of workshops in the school system with Josephus, and working with the kids. I love working with, 8th grades and up. Like the high school kids, I love them because, they'll tell you to you raw.
Yeah,
they will. Yeah, they will. You know what I mean? And they're expressive. So I love that they're that expressive, and they deal with so much on a regular basis, that we didn't have dealing with on when we were that young. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things that they're dealing with on a regular basis, we didn't deal with. I didn't deal with, school shootings and identities and, like so much tech and so many things that they're dealing with on a regular basis. And we want them to be normal, but, then we say, oh, they're so entitled. Yeah, they're entitled, but we made them. We created them. Like those are our kids. Those are our kids. So any entitlement that they didn't feel that they had, we gave it to them. So, it's love to be able to, I love to be able to, watch them grow and watch them express themselves and see what exactly how they feel about this world, because they're the ones that's going to take care of it.
That's right. We got to set it up for them to take over. And a lot of people don't understand, like you mentioned, things are different. They are exposed to a lot more. So the fact that they're exposed to a lot more, the things that we once used to do, now we might have to be on a little bit of the extreme side, because that's where things are at. But it's just, controlling your extreme. You don't want to go off the handle and doing something crazy. Like some things that just recently showed on the internet, about the educators and the young ladies. And I'm not sure if this was the actual mother of the young girl or if this was a mother speaking, but I agreed with what she said. Was like, she broke down the whole scenario of the video and was like, for those that said that the student wasn't wrong, like, who raised you? None of us ever thought, I know I didn't, thought that I was going to go walk up on a teacher, let alone in their personal space, and talk to them, because I was more afraid of what was going to happen when I got to the house.
I mean, there's a lack of balance.
If I even made it to the house, you get what I'm saying? Because some of us had those parents, great-grandparents, elders that'll get you right where you messed up at, and I was always afraid of that. No, because don't F me up where I was at. No, I don't want to have to save my face, but like now it's like they don't care. I've seen elementary school children punch teachers in their faces. So, it's a bit much, but I love the fact that we both are bringing out the fact about how poetry is therapeutic. I'm doing everything to include that in as well, to try to filter that in through the PTA aspect, to kind of help it out there. But these schools who claim to be talent and development, these are things that you need to bring into that fold so that they can get another outlet, because whatever's working, these BMTs, even the school psychologists, it's not enough. You have to get more creative with your approaches. And I love the fact that you both are doing that. So I hope you guys have your arsenal stocked, because we about to take a quick break, because we have our blast music of the artist of the week. And when we come back, I may ask you a couple more questions, but then y'all gonna go back and forth. We're gonna get this battle of the best worlds going. All right.
Alrighty. So our blast artist for tonight is LaDawn the Chameleon, and this is called Welcome to My Party. Check it out.
Lucky, Turn me up. Look down the chameleon. Welcome to my party. Party. Welcome to my 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 party. Welcome, Nella. Take 2, 3 shots from the bar if you're single. 2, 3 shots. We bout to party like no other. No other. If you a dancer, baby, move your body. If it's your birthday, take a shot of some clear. You can't be shy, we bout to turn up in here. Tonight don't owe me nothing but a good time. Don't mind me, I'm feeling so good. I'm just catching the vibes. I'm just catching the vibes, the vibes, the vibes. Welcome to my party. Welcome to my party. Oh, well on the hips like well on my body. I move my body to the side. You like it? Oh my God. Well on the hips like well on my body. I move my body to the side. You like it? Oh my God. Welcome to my party. Look down the chameleon.
And that is our girl, LaDon the Chameleon.
Hey.
Welcome to my party. And if you are an independent artist or need a spoken word poet or even an up-and-coming comedian that would like some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. That's blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, back to y'all.
Yeah, so y'all both can, register for the F to the R to the EE. I like to, help everybody get their art out there. Shine Vibrations, get your line in there and shine. You feel me? So, is there anything that you want your poetry to say about you? Or if you even care, because I know some people say it's whatever comes to me, and you just take it and leave it.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Sherry. Go ahead.
I wanted at this point, when you start performing and then you get into it a little bit more, it's a little different. At this stage of development, I would say I want my poetry to say that I'm a whole woman. I'm a whole human person. I started off doing only performing. I wrote everything, but performing only gospel poetry. And then, and that still was with a tinge of activism and stuff. But then, I done went through some things. I done had a divorce. I done had a death of a bit, and at this point, yeah, I'm going to love the Lord. I'm still might cuss you out and cuss about it. I'm a sexual being, spiritual being. I'm a mom. I'm concerned about my community. I am a whole person. And that's what I want my art to say. Or I want it to, if someone goes back and looks at my catalog, like, she was a regular person who had multiple, multifaceted, multiple types of thoughts all day, just like everybody else.
That's what's up. That's beautiful. What's up? Well, how about you, Crossroads? How what is it that you want? I mean, I know we done had this conversation, but I believe it might be a little different, or was it the same back then?
I mean, my poetry represents my journey. You know what I mean? Like my entire journey. There's layers to my journey. And it didn't just start when I started writing poetry. But if you look back on the things that I've written, or the videos that I've done, or the teams that I've been on, it all represents my journey. My journey. The streets, coming from the streets of East Orange, New Jersey, to from living on the streets of East Orange, New Jersey, to actually, standing in front of 30,000 people and spitting a poem. Like that's a journey in itself, a journey to be celebrated. I don't have a problem in celebrating my journey because I have a legacy that I need to uphold. You know what I mean? I got an entire legacy that depends on me. And that when my grandkids are old enough, they are old enough. They look back now and they say, that's my granddad doing that. You know what I mean? They go to YouTube and watch my videos. That's my granddad. My grandson, he was studying poetry. He's 16 now, but like about 3 years ago, he was studying poetry in one of his classes, and one of his teachers brought up some videos from YouTube, and guess who was one of his videos? His grandfather. He didn't know it. She had no idea that I was his grandfather. You know how that makes me feel as a grandparent, as a person, as a man, as a human. So those are the kind of things like to represent my legacy. Those are the kind of things I leave behind. So when people look back at my legacy, they can say, well, he did I.
Nah, I would definitely say, as far as the both of you, legacy being that's mediocre. Y'all are on, like, I love this word because a lot of us don't use it, but magnanimous, that's what I see, that's what I feel, knowing you personally and being nosy and going through your page and watching your videos, and yes, that's the stamp that I love to give poets, because again, not a lot of poets use that word either, I do. I'm one of those, and a lot of people just in regular conversation don't use it, and I want them to know, like, to bring them the level up. You get what I mean? That confidence, because just today going on a tour, some of the kids were afraid to answer the question during the seminar from the school that my sons go to, and it was another school over there. And a few of them was like, well, that school is better than us. My head turned around about 5 times and I said, what? Y'all don't even know them. Why would you say that? So that's letting me know it's a prime example of what's not being poured into these babies individually, and right there on the spot, we had a whole conversation. I said, oh no. I said, let me tell you something. There's one thing that you must know. Any building is only as good as the people that house it.
Right.
So if you don't think that you have enough, then the school does not have enough. I said, but this school is only as great as you are. So you have to have the confidence that every time you look in that mirror, that this is your greatest day. You are the better version of yourself today than what you were yesterday. And a lot of them was like, oh, so this is why your son says this. You said, yes, I have these conversations with both of my sons. They're 11. The other one will be 9. He's also a Taurus like me. So, he tends to be more emotional, like he's more reactive, because like he feels like he got to defend everything, especially if someone says something about me. So, and I'm like teaching them, through art, through painting, through writing, through journaling, like this is how you get your emotions out. Because the lashing out in the classroom, taking it out on your classmates and teachers, no, that's not what we do. Because then you want to see another side of your mother that you're not going to like. But it's just that, it's so needed. And I understand, like what Crossword says, like he likes to work with the 8 and up. And it's like, and that's great because a lot of times that's that age group where they get lost.
Mm-hmm.
But because of all the exposure,
that's exactly the truth. Yeah, that's exactly the truth. That age, at that age, from 8th grade and up, that's when we can possibly lose. Yes, we hold on to it tight.
And it's just like my own observation working at 2 different schools. It's really since pandemic exposed a lot of the things that they weren't receiving at home, and you can see that now it's made it so that it's not that group anymore. It's now became younger, because the elementary school kids, they have a lot of social emotional issues that they actually have social emotional learning for the first part of the day. Like the first 30 minutes to an hour, they have that every day because the numbers are just so much greater now. So I hope that those that are watching are listening to these great people who are also involved in mental health and bringing about, the betterment of the people, the community, and especially our babies, because they are next up. So now we're about to switch gears, because now here comes the show, the best part of the show. So, Dad, you know what? Just so my niece would leave me alone. I got a dime though. I got a dime for the dimes on the show. So we're gonna flip, okay? And I want y'all to tell me heads or tails, because then that's going to determine how we're gonna start this off, okay? So call it. Here we go. Call it.
Heads.
Oh, and I guess the head busters is what we get, because I did it twice and it keeps flipping on heads. So first up, she gonna hit y'all with some wet bars. Let's go.
Okay. So this first one, we'll just get right on into it. It's called Love Languages.
Okay.
As it pertains to love languages, I'm an acts of service, physical touch, quality time kind of girl. Oddly, almost even in the categories I give, like I receive, I give all of me. And for you to feel my love, I can't just say it with my chest. It has to be deep throat pipe down my windpipe, lungs filled with pre-cum fellatio. An act of service requiring physical touch and quality time, my mouth is a love language. A toasty caress wet with devotion, saturating length and girth. My love is a lake current, engulfing head, shaft, tongue, told your twin friends to come in, I take all of you. Hard or soft. I lip chest, kiss stomach while sandwiched between my breasts, bites inner thigh, work the body like a coach. My tongue run laps around your lap like a trap. I'm Olympian with 5 rings and you've got a champion. I endure to the finish. Swallow the spoils of victory. I'm an addict. My love language may be acts of service, but I have selfish needs. I'm a voyeur, and your pleasure is my silver screen. I watch you. Watch me. Increase with intensity. We play stare down and I win as you let your head fall back. I make you white man relax. Without a care in the world, a state of ease, your hand grips my hair, trapped in my locks and curls, controls my neck a little bit, chest rise and fall, and bite your lip, front of tongue, back of tongue, lick and switch. My tongue is a wand and I do magic, make it rise. Jerk. The vein throbs. On the back of it, the manly moan that escapes is the only noise taking place over the splosh of sucked juice, a river wet, flowing cheek to lips running, dripping into every crevice, giving skin to skin, slick nourishment. My love is a moisturizer and I treat your whole dermis. Massage it firmly. Rub you the right way for every time you were wrong. Make your eyes roll. For every time you were dismissed, make your toes curl. For every step you took today, for every gawk and gare, I gawk with care. I love you till you know you're important enough to have time spent like this. My love language is oral encouragement. And I will receive you, love you, welcome you, want you, please you no matter how long it takes.
Woo! Woo! Man, when I tell you, I couldn't wait for you. When I told you going through your videos, I say yes. Yes, this got the fire.
Yo.
Look. What's up, bro? How you like that one? How
Right. Yeah, I'm almost scared to follow that. Like, okay,
You ain't never scared. Hold up. Sis, hold on. You ain't never scared, bro. We from Dirty Jersey. You know how we get down.
I'm just being facetious, but
I know that's right.
You know, that was hot. Okay, so since I'm not doing it right, let me do this. Tears on Christmas morning, streaming down the face of God, pouring sorrow into the soul of shattered thoughts. See, we keep pain on him, close enough to let us know that we're still alive. See, this ain't no poem. More like a declaration without reason, finding relief only in hot showers and the Lord's Prayer, both of which we do alone because every minute that passes becomes another chance to turn it all around. See, when you're standing naked on a pedestal of your own creation, you've got to be ready when it's your time to fall because there's comfort in the darkness. That way, no one can see the person that you're forced to become when you're all alone. See, I've often wondered if loneliness knows which door to knock on in order to join misery and give her the company that she loves so much. Being face to face with your own mortality only becomes scary when your soul doesn't have a chance to cry out for all the damage that's been done. So you look for lifelines like guitar strings to play melodies on your broken dreams. But instead, finding a little drummer boy rocking out boom back bass lines to your own personal Armageddon, crushing your yesterdays and putting your tomorrows on hold so that peace becomes a faded memory and chaos becomes your best friend. But this ain't no poem. Or call it one if you want to, but this is more like the layoff from your job. This is the rent's due without a dime in your pocket. This is the lights are off in the search for your next meal. This is Percocets and stomach pain, the sickness that you didn't ask for. See, this is the problem in your relationship. Not even knowing your right from your left. So you thought you was right, so she left. Broken hearts don't compare to the feelings of insignificance in the eyes of salvation. Being struck down like Job with your faith in your back pocket, unused, just like that condom, unused, and your arms were too short to reach for. By his grace, you received his aid, but by his mercy, you didn't receive aid. So what makes you think your arms are long enough to box with God? Hiding behind the sleep that you can't get, the rest that never comes because you're too afraid to face what the next day will bring. See, the first time I realized that God sheds tears was the first time that I ever saw my mama. Praying to the same God that I cry to now. Just like Mary prayed for her son Jesus, my mama cried for her son. Covered me in glory and put a mustard seed under my tongue. Sent me into the world, said, boy, don't be a conqueror, be so much more. And remember that in order to get somewhere, you can't go around. You got to go through the open door. So who will cry now? Who will cry for mothers just like mine, whose little boy considered suicide because the rainbow just wasn't enough? And who will cry now? Who will cry for little girls who have lost their way and can't seem to find their way back home? And who will cry now? Who will cry for the young man struck down in his prime, kneel by his side and tell him, rest well, young soldier, and let God's tears wash the sins from your soul?
Yes. So, you got another one? Because we could go back to back. We could do the round robin on this one because y'all just got
deep
pockets. Okay, yes, that's what I like.
We got deep. Are we talking deep pockets?
Yes, we got deep pockets, bro. Let's get it.
We got deep pockets. That's what I'm talking about.
Deep pockets.
You understand?
Hey,
you don't come ill-equipped. I just need to know what you want. You want wet bars? You want street bars? What you want?
I like your erotic. I really like your erotic. William Moore. He said,
what'd you say?
So that's natural or just silicone? Come on, bro. All natural around here. From the head to the toes. Don't play. Right, sis?
Natural.
All natural. So go right on ahead, sis. Go on. Spit it on them.
This one's called Beard. And it gets worse.
Okay. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me
sit back and sip on this one. Crosswords, get ready for your beard.
Yeah, I'm already loving that joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. Let's
I
talk.
got you. Let's talk. There's nothing quite like the scent of pussy juice in hair, especially when I put it there. I bless your face, overflowing quiver. Shake your face becomes a water tower. I write my name on with hip swivels, and you are an oddity. Like, are you a mammal or fish? You still breathing? Do you got gills? You a whale at this? Scaled movement measurements, you skilled at this. Swear to God, this tongue feels like it's drawing Disney animation on my clitoris under the sea. Fuck the alphabet. But when you come up for air with my cum in your hair, your beard becomes incense. I suck your chin scentless, eat me off you, inhale your face emaciated, suck your tongue as if to remove my delectable from your buds to create a clean state. Start over. Travel back down for more nourishment. Your countenance cradled by lips, tongue slides electric, shocking. You clutch my pearl, I gasp and sing a sweet melody, hitting every note with precision. Your neck is a Stevie Wonder tribute, ribbon in my thighs, Wanye wine with hips locked and arms gripping, stomach with fingertips, our bodies together in a jam session, hopping, jiving under your direction, and we just can't stop dancing, grooving. We hold hands tight, change tempo, slow grind, speed up, still holding hands, inhale, breathe deeply, still holding hands, fingers interlocked. You refuse to let me go. I refuse to let go. You make me release and release and release. And you, mathematician, teach me multiples, exponents, Pythagoras in my triangle. A squared plus B squared makes me C squared. I mean, double. I mean, my eyes rolled and closed and crossed, and I can't move, and I'm high, and this head gave me cotton mouth, my mouth dry. You smirk, coming up to my face with that damn beard. Dripping of me and you and juice and sweat and wet, and I can't think to do nothing but drink.
Sat that right there on that chin, huh?
Have your way, King.
She said, "Oh, it's your turn, sir."
I never claimed to be anything more than human, right? And even as I stand here as a leopard with unchangeable spots, my hue changes, and my blue ranges from a deep dark midnight to a region that touches the sky. And sometimes I have no idea why my shades of gray, shades of greatness that I have destined to become. So my rainbow is not filled with sunny shades of orange, but ingrained in my soul is a brown treaded on by the footprints left by the hearts of betrayal. See, I have seen the color of pain. It is cold like steel and black like the nothing, holding on to something that I've always had. So I wear the robes of the prodigal son, returning from squander, searching for the forgiveness of the golden arm. I wear the burgundy of judgment, but the burden of approval falls not from your eyes, but from my own. I wear the purple of passion, giving humility a chance as I walk from the darkness into the light. See, truth is not always black and white, some magic wand that makes everything better, because all it offers is the truth. And the truth is, I am a man first, and my hue is a deep dark mocha. So when you see me, see my man, then see my hue. But most of all, see that I am human, no less immune to the trials and tribulations of life, and all the rainbows in the world are not going to tell you what I feel. No spectrum of light is going to tell you what I think, and no gradation of color is going to tell you what I dream or what I think or what I dream, because I don't dream in color. I dream in real life. Real life is more than just color. Real life is swirls of emotions that give way to your own personal happiness or your own personal chaos. Real life is stripes and plaids of experiences, triumphs and tragedy, allowing for personal growth at every turn. Real life is the phenomenon of the twilight of my soul remaining unflinched from my vision, so empowered by my blindness. And real life is being human, and I do not apologize for that. So to anyone that's been affected by my life, I am human. To those that have been touched by my joy, I am human. To the people who have heard my words, felt my pain, have been set back by my fear, I am human, mortal, incarnate, earthborn, and even if you clone my clone, you can never duplicate the individual that is me because I am not like you, but I am just like you. Human, transformer like Optimus Prime in order to reach my Optimus Prime, to reach my Optimus Prime. See, Emmett Till was human. Rosa Parks was human. Malcolm Martin and Mandela, all human. Even Jesus was human until he was touched by God. Just as I have been touched by God. And no, I have not been risen from the dead, but these words are my resurrection. I was birthed in God's image, but I was raised in imperfection. And I have no doubt at the end of the days, my spirit will soar with the constellations. But for now, the ground I walk, the air I breathe, and the heart beating in my chest all make me human.
Yes, 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 yes. And I got a poem too where Optimus Prime. I think that's a Jersey thing because some of my people's got that in some of their bars too. I really think that's a Jersey thing. Yes, definitely fire. Hey, you got a round three? Miss Deep Pockets?
Yeah.
We always, yeah.
I got something. Like I said, you want to take it to the street?
Pockets is deep.
What you want? Look, crosswords. I'm gonna let you pick.
I'm saying, I'm she's smoking me out over here on these rock joints. Like I can't even be mad at that. Like
so I had to.
I had to turn off my camera for a second because I was swooning. Swooning over here, swooning, son.
I love it. So, but you know what? Okay, yes, because you are. I'm already say that you are a metal councilwoman. So let's go ahead and do some show some of your activism for the people. Give them what I know.
Response poems be like, to the man who called me a slut, I said, bitch. Neck roll, side scans, the audience loves it when we strike back. The more attitude, the better, and I stay response ready. So when my kid called me one night from college all hyped, I was shook. The hood popped out. She was like, what's good? She said, Mom. He said, huh? She said, the police got called on me at McDonald's. Explains. The staff of young white women were joyfully using racial slurs while shorting her food for which she paid. And when my child responded in her angry way, Karens in training responded, weaponizing white fear, calling 911 to respond to the response they egged on. And when police respond to reports of rowdy young Black women in small towns after dark, things are bound to go wrong. Then her mother, the poet, would be expected to bring a new hashtag to life, responding to the response of the first responders who were called to respond to a situation that was a lie. And all my kid wanted was her nuggets and fries. They would have been dead wrong. She would be dead to rights. The living that wronged her would immediately breathe new life into a twisted media narrative talking about my child and the home she came from. Dig up stuff about her father and how he died by the gun. Paint her as a hood rat who just happened to luck up on affirmative action and a Pell Grant. Never mind the fact that my child is honor roll collegiate with scholarships at an HBCU. I would be expected to formulate a movement that responds to all this, but what if I don't want to respond? Never want to respond to anything again. Arts is activism. And activists know we are hashtag custodial staff. The job calls for us to be maids. There ain't never nothing to save, only things to clean up. It's reactionary. After the fact, we rush in with bullhorns and tennis shoes on after the wrong, after the blood has been spilled. And all I could think in that frozen moment is, what if my child was killed? I ain't finna respond to that. And hell with anyone who thinks I have to. And fucking entire movement for believing that any grieving parent has to carry the moment on their back. Mamie was a blessing. Leslie was a blessing. Mike Brown Sr. and Sabrina are blessings. And I'm telling you, if there ever comes a time my child's life is on the line, my misery will not be a blessing for anyone. I won't paint my child martyr while standing strong as the crying mother, then watch as nothing happens but a landfill full of more cardboard protest signs now. Ain't no marches around whatever Jericho shouting and chanting for the wall of corruption to come down that's going to make me doing a poem, a consolation prize for my child in a grave. I don't want to hear mobs of people chanting my child's name anywhere other than track or a basketball game, nor poets across the United States adding her name to the graveyard of the slain residing in their stanzas.
Come on.
That call shook me to my core. Made me quiet. And after we were done talking, there were tears rolling down my cheeks because one of my real fears was almost realized. And in real life, I ain't have no response.
Now that right there, woo-wee, because I felt that. I got 2 sons, so I felt that.
You get that call, and I got that call, and I sat outside, unable to move, just grateful that she was calling and that I wasn't getting a call from somebody else.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna stay there.
Covering of protection.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay there for a minute. I'm gonna stay there. An open letter to my son. Young men, I write this letter not to apologize for the type of father I have been. This is for the things that I have missed. This is for the things that I have neglected to tell you, the questions I should have answered, the moments we can't get back. Now, I know a lot of your friends don't know their fathers too well, so I tried to be something different. Tried to be everything, but sometimes became not enough of something. See, with the odds stacked against you since the days of your conception, you are here for a reason. I need you to take note. I haven't always done things right, and I did the best that I could. And some days, the only food that I ate was the pride that I swallowed so that you could eat better, so now I need to tell you. I need to tell you that there's a better way. See, the code of the streets will convince you that you are indebted to the hood, but you have nothing left to give. They will follow you in stores. You will fit the description. They will pepper spray your notions of equality, make you believe that life is so hard and death is so much easier. You will fight one another, kill one another, all in the name of the dollar. They will emancipate. They will emancipate the color. Wait a minute. They will emancipate the culture that you will have created, and you will willingly pull your pants down your backside so they can whip your butt with ease. See, if you don't know something, find out. If you want something, go get it. Period. Take the supernova out of your belly and regurgitate it into the galaxy. Don't miss these words when I'm gone. So don't miss these words when I'm here, because I'll be gone soon. Don't be like your father, because your father is great. So you be better. Be you. Be strong. Be afraid. Be very afraid, but don't be scared. Learn that there is a difference between sensitivity and passion. Don't believe you can't have both. See, I have learned to share. I have earned the right to share the charity. I have carried ugly, put beat downs on my back, sang songs of sorrow so that the sunshine, so to my sons shine. Pour out your fire that bursts with energy. See, sometimes we forget. We forget our self-worth. We forget that someone's always watching. So we play knockout games where there's a catch-22. Aspiring to drive cars that spin on 22, running from bullets with the calibers of 45 and 22, where the life expectancy is around 22. So when your hands get dirty, wrap them around a caterpillar and butterfly a new existence, and always remember, being your father has always been my greatest gift, which is why I always remain present. With love, Dad.
And they say Black fathers don't matter. Yes, they present. I know. I be telling them. I say even the ones where y'all think ain't present, they present. I don't know what you talking about, but the ones I know are. And Crosswords, I think you can be a dope example of that, brother. For real. For real.
I mean, when I speak on my legacy, like I mean that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like my kids can say a lot of things about me, but they can't say I wasn't there.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so but it was a joy being a part of their lives, and like they didn't have to be here. So I've done everything that I could to make sure that, you know, my legacy fulfills in them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Indeed. You got one more round in you?
Yeah.
I'll let you choose unless Veep wants to make the final decision. Because I see him in the back. I tell myself, no, he enjoying it. He taking it all in.
I mean, you can choose. We can take it to the sheets or to the streets, you know?
Do you have one that is both by chance?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually.
Look, I know it.
Yeah,
I knew it. I just knew
women's
it.
empowerment is me being a horse's tail, actually. And I'm good with it. So yeah, we can do that. So this one's called body count.
Let's go.
In response to the question, what's your number? Nah, baby, I don't count bodies, I collect them. The organ that has you worried is experience. This clitoris has over 8,000 nerve endings, can be stimulated from the outside and inside, orgasms multiple times, never ages. The more you use it, the better it gets, sustains more wetness, is a self-cleaning thing, doesn't need your approval to be saved, sanctified, or holy. You will not use your filthy rag morality to judge me. Pretend to be a high-value man. I will ask you the escort services where you currently use your currency. I'm not property, but metaphorically speaking, are you asking how many people have lived in this house or how many have just passed through? As if the house that has had house parties has a devalued value. After all, my curbside appeal was enough to catch you. I mean, are you trying to check my standards? After I tell you my number, you're going to ask me the median income of all the men, how many of them had college education, postgraduate degrees, where they worked, who they were, how many had all their original teeth, dental implants, cavities, Roth IRAs, 401ks, checking accounts, credit cards, hid money under the mattress. Is that just a fancy way of trying to see if they put money in my hand or on the nightstand? You want to see if I got that fire, that killer. You want to see if my lower lips have spoken eulogies. Want to know if they fingernails were clipped or clean, vegan, Christian, 5%. You want to know what kind of soap they use and where I got that move. I get it. You want me to be so experienced to know what to do, but not so experienced that I outdo you. But I'll tell you what this mouth do. I'm a truth teller. I even orgasm honest. You, a bootleg scientist asking quantitative questions without qualitative analysis, and it all counts. The long-term relationships, homies, one times, but if I told you that rape and molestation were also a part of this count, you try to diagnose presumed promiscuity, I'm gonna save you the brain work, I do what the hell I want. I've said yes with consent, yes while coerced, yes inebriated, yes sober. I've said no one stayed, no one had to run, no one been punched, no in the presence of a gun, no in fault. And I've said yes at times, even inside of relationships, and been grieved and fully distraught. And even at the end of all this, you still gonna be more pissed about how many times I said yes than the amount of times my no was ignored. You won't even ask who or if I'm dealing with anyone right now. So what the fuck are you asking for? But since you asked, I'm an OG at this. My lips have sucked the depression right up out of dick, stands at attention and bows before the queen's hips, giving release and rejuvenation, gripping, life-saving thighs. These breasts have nurtured nations. My love is revolutionary. I've martyred this pussy so niggas could say they killed it. I'm not a whore, hoe, or sex worker, though it wouldn't matter if I was. I'm a healthy, disease-free, grown-ass, unattached, fine-ass woman. I'm a lover. And had lovers and was willing to consider you, but seems that that's not what you're really into. So a real conversation isn't due. So when it comes to the question, what's my number? I'm a virgin.
Oh, yes. I like it a lot. That one was dope. That one was fire. I can't even say which one was my favorite, but because you just bing, 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 like you hitting them real low below the waist. You feel me? And I love it. I can't wait to hopefully I want to go to Southern Pride so I can see you live, like for real, live and in color. I want to go. So crosswords, let's go. I know you got one more, bro, before we get out of here.
All right, let me listen. Let's see if I can remember this.
It's all right. Look, you kind of got us all punch drunk right about now.
Yeah, let me see if I can remember this. Let me see.
Yeah.
All right. I might. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can get through this. They say fairy tales do come true. Women have been told for ages that if you live up to a certain standard, then a prince will come whisk you away to a happily ever after with kingdom, complete with kingdom, crown, and chambermaids to wash the royal vagina until it sparkles like the twinkle in your smile. Ting! But guess what? He ain't coming. Good men are not princes with fiction embedded in their molars. You are not the first woman to try on that glass slipper and the shit don't fit anyway. And even if your man is not that frog that your bitter, man-hating girlfriends think he is, remember this. The whole Prince Charming thing is way overrated. If true love was easy, everyone would have it. And since every story is needs these details worth remembering, then remember this. Sometimes the end of the road comes at a price, the apple is rotten, and the milk's gone bad. Disney princess had me thinking, wait a minute. Oh man, I'm sorry. I lost it. I'm sorry, I lost it. Wait a minute.
Get it back.
Wait. Disney has you thinking that princess save only damsels in distress. Let's examine what that is. A damsel, by Webster's definition, is a woman in distress. And distress is sorrow or pain. So I lost it. I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry.
And that's one of the real good ones too.
I love
that one.
Yo,
the first time I heard that one, I literally was in the middle.
I lost it.
Matter of fact, this reminds me, bro. You owe me a drink. I spit it completely out all over the place.
I'm sorry, I lost that one. I did.
But it's all right. It's all right, beloved. It is all good. You definitely went toe to toe. You know what I'm saying? You definitely you handled your handle, and plus your message got across. I just love the fact that both of you, was like, yeah, no doubt,
Word.
Since like, look, hey, you see me live. I said no, we in the same group, and I just was being nosy. So that's what I love about the art. When you're a true artist, I'm not trying to take away from anybody. I believe in duality. I believe in reciprocity. I believe in shining and sharing the light with folks, because with all of this nonsense that we're dealing with right now, with everything that's on social media. Even like in responses, you make a post about something, we see it daily, like it's almost like a disease out here. Everybody goes for the negative response. You do something positive, meant to be joyous, and it's somebody in the comments tearing it down. I don't understand what this negative view that everyone has now, but I feel I'm doing, like you said, bro, we're going to change the world one poem at a time. So I'm doing my part to make sure we all shine. You feel me? So with that being said, tell them folks how they can find you. Start Crosswords, how they can find you, social media, what projects you got coming up next, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can find me at 50thingsplus.com. I am Crosswords. I'm Crosswords on everything, like Ronald Crosswords Hargrove on Facebook. I am Crosswords on Twitter. Crosswords on Instagram. Crosswords on TikTok. Yeah, I be on TikTok. Yo. It's funny. TikTok is funny to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It is.
Late night.
Huh?
I said when I can't rest, I'm on TikTok late night watching all the stuff.
Right. Yeah, my let me see, my book came out, 50 Things I Learned at 50. It's available on Amazon. I got a screenplay that I'm shopping a deal for called A Poet's Blues that I'm shopping a deal for. I got another book that I'm working on that's actually coming out and I'm working on with my daughter called Gen X versus Gen Z. Working on a few different projects. Yeah, that's gonna be dope because
Yeah, shouts out to the projects with the babies.
Man. I love them kids. Them Gen Z kids, I love them. I really do. So I'm working on that. So just keep on chugging away, writing, like you said, one poem at a time, one word at a time, one paragraph at a time. So
that's right.
Just keep doing.
All right, Madam Councilwoman. We gonna claim it. We claiming it.
So I can be found. Well, I do have a link tree. And that link tree extension is Purpose Spoken. I'm pretty much Purpose Spoken everywhere. My website is www, of course, .spokenpurpose.com. I have books. Some of the poems that I said today are actually, so I have a pseudonym for my erotic poetry. Yeah, because we can't just, So, that's out here. But she Miko Black, and she'll be on Amazon soon. Under that pseudonym, but everything else is under me, Sherry Purpose Hall, 1 R 1 I SHERI Purpose Hall. But yeah, you can look me up, spokenpurpose.com, drop me a line, send me a comment, let's connect. Hit my tip jar. You can find out even about the campaign. It don't matter where you are. If you support artists being in our office and running things and writing legislation, because we all writers still.
Right.
The link tree for that one is Purpose for KC. PURPOSEFORKC. So I have 2 link trees, one for the politics, one for the artist, but everything connects.
And any new projects going?
I'm on here right now, and as the CEO of Poetry for Personal Power, I would be remiss if I didn't invite people to come to Kansas City in October. So this will be our 3rd year of the Right of Joy Conference that focuses on Black and African American mental health and arts. Yes, we are the only conference focusing on Black mental health, and we are a people of the griot. You can't leave out the arts. So rightofjoy.com, and that's RITE of joy.com.
Put that in the comments too, sis. Make sure folks can go back to
I'll make
that.
sure I put it in there, because we got Right of Joy fam now, just like Southern Fried fam. Like, we coming back every year. We getting our healing. Last year, all the features and speakers didn't even plan it that way, were Black men.
I would have loved to be. Please tell me that you got the link to that somewhere. I would love to watch that.
So it wasn't recorded. You gotta be there. You gotta be there.
You see, this is what happens. This is what I be trying to tell people though. Everything don't got a link. You gotta show up and show out.
So we've had and Ed Mabry will be our MC again. Master of Ceremonies for our gala. He was also the MC for our poetry slam. We have $1,000 poetry slam at the end of the conference. Last year we had Obi West, Stephen Willis, Wesley Frazier Keys, and they were some of our teachers, workshop facilitators. We had Black Boy Joy as a workshop, and I had fun in that mug. I taught my workshop. I have a Writing Wrongs, Writing to Heal. And then if you are a clinician, we also offer CEUs for some of these classes. So you can come have your business pay for it on their dime, get your CEUs, and come be a part of the fam. I'm just saying. So rightofjoy.com. You want to come through. Last year was so awesome. Let me tell you something. We had lunch every day. I believe in feeding people hot food. You don't know where they're coming from. They could be fronting for you like they got it and they really don't, especially when people are dealing with mental health. And to give clarification, we want people from all walks of life to come, especially if you serve our communities. If you white and you serve our community, come listen to us. Come commune with us. Come hear these stories. Come be a part of this, But we at lunch, and impromptu, a discussion starts, whole room. And it's a real discussion about Black men in the community and the shortcomings between men and women. It wasn't contentious at all. It's just truth. And these men were allowed to speak, and women were receptive. And then we were pouring back into them. I was watching it happen, like just impromptu. It's wild. So I'm praying to have more experiences like that this year. I'm putting it in the chat right now because y'all want to know this stuff.
And y'all see as she's putting that in the chat, you can donate to your girl so you keep this thing going. Sunshine Cromwell, that's the Cash App. And social media, I am Queen Shine with the 8 on for the S on Instagram and Facebook, Sunshine Cromwell. I don't even get on Twitter anymore, so my bad for that. But TikTok, is Sunshine Cromwell. We on Clubhouse. I actually gotta get on now. Lyrics and rhymes after this tonight, and then nouns and verbs with Sharita. If you want to hit me up on here, Shine Vibrations at blast24music.com. If you want to get on here for your turn to shine, holla at your girl. Veep, come on from backstage. I'm trying to hide, bro.
Ain't no hiding, just chilling.
So, Veep, how did you enjoy them? Did I knock it out the park for you tonight?
For sure. Sherry, Crosswords, you guys were amazing. I appreciate, as Dimples put it, I appreciate your ministry. I appreciate the way you delivered. It was amazing. The imagery that you use, Sherry. Let's just say I don't smoke and I'm about to break out a cigarette. Let's put it that way. My man, Crosswords, me being a spiritual man, a religious man, everything you said touched my heart and hit home, brother. So I appreciate the transparency and the words were just incredible. So thank you very much, both of you. Thank you very much.
And I want you to know this, because I didn't say this to either one of y'all. Mm-hmm. Troy, when I first met you, this is who popped in my head.
Oh, okay.
Just, our conversation, because how I became on here, I was actually a guest on Crazy Carla's. She's a comedian. I was a guest on hers, and Veep asked me if I ever thought about podcasts, and I was like, hell yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to get that started. So how the divine energy works. But that first, like when you first meet somebody and it's like, that association your brain automatically does, it was you, Crosswords. And then what even makes it even funnier is that you guys are totally different in height. Like, that's on top of that. I just had to bring that because Troy, I haven't seen Troy in person yet, but I know he's a giant because he's taller than me.
That's what Dimples calls me. She always calls me a giant. I'm like, girl, you looking almost at me. I ain't that tall, but
yeah, but I'm up there, but I know he's taller than me. So but yeah, see, it doesn't matter what package it's in. The energy don't lie. Right. That's the point that I'm making. The energy don't lie. No matter how it's packaged, the energy is always going to vibe and it's always going to be righteous. And I love it. And I love this energy. I would love for you to come back on the show. It might be some things in the works later on. We're trying to do some things, some in-person events. So, I definitely, yes, ma'am. Definitely, I will be keeping you two on that list. And I thank you again. Is there any last words you want to say before we split?
I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, it's a good look. I appreciate that. We're looking on that. You know what I'm saying? Respect all that you're doing. The whole NC Jersey thing. So I see you. So I appreciate all that.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
I love you. God loves you more. That's it.
I appreciate you, sis, and I love you too. Look, I got a new sister. Hey. So with that being said, appreciate y'all for coming out. Be safe, be blessed. Most of all, it's the ending of Ramadan too for those, and for most of all, be safe out there. I'm not going to do no partying just as of yet. But, those of you that's out there partying, hey, get your shots in for me. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you do, please do it respectfully and safely and get home to your loved ones, because we are definitely losing too many people too soon and too young. Word. Okay? Yeah. So I always want to make sure it ain't cutting the fun. Just make sure you are doing it safely so that you get home to your loved ones. With that being said, appreciate y'all for coming out. Peace, peace, peace.
Good night.
Hey.